Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today just wanted to make a fun little video. I wanted to do something different. I want to predict who I think the 2025 fighter of the year is gonna be. Last year, if you guys have seen, I made something very similar where I actually predicted the top 10 pound for pound 5 years from then. So last year, 2024, I predicted who's gonna be the top 10 pound for pound in 2029. So if y'all interested, go check that out. But today, like I said, I want to predict who I think is going to be the fighter of the year for this year. I was watching a Ring magazine podcast where Showbiz, Chael Sonnen, and Dan Rayfield discussed who they thought would be this year's fighter of the year. And it got me thinking, so far from the rumors, we do have a little bit of an idea of certain big fights that we can expect this year. And just in general, how boxing matchmaking usually goes. I can see and make an educated guess on who's gonna fight who and who's gonna win those fights. And with that in mind, I want to start off by telling you guys who is potentially gonna win fighter of the year. I got a list here. I got Inoue, I got Terence Crawford, I got Canelo Alvarez, Artur Beterbiev / Dimitri Bivol, I got Alexander Usyk, I got Joseph Parker / Daniel Dubois, I got Jesse Bam Rodriguez, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Jaron Boots Ennis, Israel Madrimov, Virgil Ortiz, what's this guy's name? Bakram Murtazaliev, and Sebastian Fundora. Yes, it is a long list of potential fighter of the year winners. But I'm going to explain why, starting with Crawford and Canelo. Obviously, there are heavy rumors going around that they're going to fight each other in September. So, whoever wins that fight, especially if it's Crawford, definitely has a chance at winning fighter of the year. Crawford having climbed, 5 divisions from where he started and beating the man up there in Canelo, a fellow pound for pound elite. I mean, if he does that, forget about fighter of the year. He is in the running for fighter of the decade. He is in the running for fighter of the 2000s, along with with Pacquiao and Mayweather. He's on that level if he beats Canelo. Now, if Canelo wins, well, that would mean he beat a top 3 pound for pound fighter. No matter the weight, Crawford and the fans wanted this fight, and Canelo didn't. He thought that it would be easy. So if he beats Crawford, guys, I will still most definitely give him so much credit for that. Plus, he's most likely gonna fight in May as well. So he always has 2 fights in a year. So one win would be against, the likes of William Skull or like Christian Mbili, and the other against a top 3 pound for pound fighter in Terence Crawford. That is fighter of the year material right there. Now let's talk Naoya Inoue. It's rumored that after beating Kim, just beat Kim like last week, Inoue is set to fight Alan Picasso, who is ranked, top 10 at 122. Then he's going to fight Murajan Akhmadaliev, who is ranked top 3 at 122. And then he's going to go up to featherweight in his 5th division and fight a champion there in Nick Ball. A very, very strong rumored schedule for Inoue. A tough schedule, man. But if this was true, he would be climbing his 5th division, and that is no easy feat. That is crazy. Next, we're going to talk about Beterbiev or Bivol. Obviously, they're having the rematch in February, so whoever wins has a strong case already. But then, it's also rumored that whoever wins will fight the winner of Benavidez or Morrell. Or they go for a 3rd fight. If Bivol wins, they go for a 3rd fight, and they for the tiebreaker. Now you may have noticed that I didn't have Benavidez or Morrell on this list. Why? Well, because I just don't think neither of them are gonna beat Beterbiev or Bivol. I don't think they can win. I don't think they're ready for that. But that's just my opinion. So whoever wins the rematch, in my mind, should beat either Benavidez or Morrell as well. So that is a very strong case, to have, let's say, for example, if better has bivol and Benavidez in his resume this year alone, boy, that's like, it's almost a lock for fighter of the year. That's crazy. Now let's talk about Usyk, Dubois, and Parker, because I believe in order for either of them to be fighter of the year, they all gotta beat each other. Dubois or Parker gotta beat each other, obviously, in their fights. Then they gotta face and beat Usyk to secure that award. For Usyk, I think he gotta beat the winner of these two, obviously, and then maybe beat the winner of Zhile Zhang versus Ajit Kabayel. No disrespect, I just don't think the winner of Zhang and Kabayel can beat Usyk, so that's why they're not on this list. Now, Bam has a real shot because he talked about wanting to unify or becoming undisputed at 115. There's great fights to be made for him this year. Obviously, the Chocolatito fight has been rumored for a while now. Then there's also the unification fight with Fernando Martinez or, Kazuto Ioka. If they do the rematch, whoever wins that fight, Bam could fight them. There's also the newly crowned champ in Fomeli Kafu, I don't know how to pronounce his name, who upset Kosei Tanaka. He can unify against them, or he can jump to 118 and become a 3-division world champ. You know what I mean? Like, Bam definitely has a big chance at winning this award if all goes to plan here. Shakur Stevenson, I mean, he too got a good, rumored schedule for this year. Obviously, he's starting the year off against an undefeated, young, hungry lion in Floyd Schofield. Then later on, he's rumored to fight William Zepeda. That's a fight that a lot of people have been wanting to happen for a while. And then hopefully, if everything aligns, the Tank fight finally happens. If he wins all three, again, I feel like that's a lock for him. You know what I mean? I mean, that's undeniable. That is an amazing run. Next on the list is Keyshawn Davis. He's set to fight for his first world title against Denis Berinchyk in February. Then after that, if Top Rank puts Morataya in there with him and he wins, I mean, hey, that is a strong 2025 there already. But to end it off, because they're in the same banner under Top Rank, if Keyshawn Davis and Lomachenko gets made at the end of the year, I mean, that is a banger of a fight. I don't know who would win that, but if Keyshawn wins that and goes 3 for 3 this year, again, that's another lock for him. Then we'll talk about, either Ryan, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, or Jaron Boots Ennis winning the award. All 4 guys are rumored to fight each other this year. And with Ryan, Teo, and Haney being directly involved with Turkey, I definitely believe it's happening. And with Boots being with Matchroom, who is also, working with Turkey, I mean, I feel like these fights are a lock. If one of these guys manage to come out on top, if one of these guys manage to come out undefeated, again, I feel like that's a lock. Like, whoever wins all 3 of their matches or 2 of their matches, I mean, that's crazy. These are tough fights. You know what I mean? So that's a lot to ask. And if they manage to pull it off, I mean, kudos. They should win the award. Lastly, we got the 154 junior middleweight champs. I reckon these guys, just like Ryan, Teo, Haney, and Boots, I reckon these guys will all fight each other this year. I can definitely see it. Starting with Madrimov and Ortiz, they're fighting this February, right? And same thing with the other group. If somebody manages to come out undefeated from this crazy gauntlet, well, they will most definitely get my vote. So let's say if Madrimov beats Ortiz and then he beats Fandora later, or Mortazaliev, I mean, that's a crazy resume for the year, right? So they will definitely get my vote. But that's it. That's the rundown on who I think are going to be nominees for this award and how they can win the award. Now I want to rank the top 5 on who I think is most likely to win. Starting with number 5. At 5, I think I'm gonna go Usyk. I think Usyk beats whoever comes out victorious between Dubois and Parker. But the problem is, I don't think that's a big enough win when compared to the rest of the list. And I think Usyk will only fight once this year. I don't think the likelihood of him fighting Zhang or Caballel is very high. I think he's only going to fight Dubois or Parker. I think that's the only big fight for him this year at least. So that's why he's at number 5. Number 4, I think I'm gonna go Canelo. I think Canelo will either fight, like I said earlier, a William Skull or a Christian Mbili, and then he's gonna fight Terence Crawford. Even though the Crawford fight would be probably the biggest fight this year, it would be the most hyped fight this year, I think. It'd be a massive fight. If we take our casual glasses off, we can see that the others' achievements, potential achievements this year, it should outweigh his potential win against Terence Crawford, a guy who is coming up 2 or 3 divisions for his fight. You know what I mean? Like I said though, I still give Canelo major props for that win if he beats Crawford. But at the same time, we got to keep in mind that Crawford is coming up 2 or 3 weight classes, right? So it is what it is. It's a spectacle. I just think there's other fights that are far more impactful to boxing. And I think that's fair. Now, number 3, the third highest chance to win the award, in my opinion, is Bam's. I think with a win against Ayoka or Martinez, I think that is a huge, tremendous win. That would be a major unification fight against very, very talented opponents. Then hopefully, he'll fight either Cafu or Tanaka. If they do a rematch and Tanaka wins that rematch, he's gonna fight either of them. That would make him a 3-belt holder in that division. Maybe he'll go for undisputed for his 3rd fight of the year, or maybe he'll go up to another division. You know what I mean? That is a crazy feat for 1 year. Those are some proper names there. So if he goes 3 for 3 again, bro, like, that's incredible. That's incredible. Okay, now moving on to spots 1 and 2. Honestly, this was a tough one for me between Naoya Inoue and Artur Beterbiev. The thing for me is I think Beterbiev will beat Bivol again, right? But the thing is, he might retire after. But if he doesn't and he fights the winner of Benavidez/Morel and wins, well, I feel like those 2 names in 1 year is a lock. You know what I mean? I know I've been saying a lock a lot in this video, but I actually think if he gets Bivol and Benavidez or Morel in his resume in 1 year, I mean, how could you not win Fighter of the Year? But if we're going off rumored schedules, then Inoue will fight 4 times this year, making him the most active champion in the game, the most active undisputed champ. Like, not even close. Fighting top 10 ranked fighters each fight, except for Kim, who was a replacement fight. And he'd be winning a championship in his 5th division, making him one of 6 people in history to achieve such a feat. That's literally historical. That is legendary stuff. And I do think he beats Picasso, Murajan, and Ball. So to go 4-0 this year, possibly all by KO, while going up another weight class, your 5th weight class, and fighting one of the champs there, Nick Ball is not no slouch, yo. Nick Ball is a tough fight. That is an incredible resume for Inoue if he manages to get that done. But the question is, which is more impressive? If we're being honest, I think Beterbiev will definitely have the bigger names, the more talented fighters in his resume. But Inoue's historical achievement and activity could, in some people's eyes, equal that. No? So, overall, I think the difference would be the actual chances of this happening for Beterbiev or Inoue. Though I do have Beterbiev winning against Bivol, I still think that's a really close fight. I think that's like a 55-45 type of matchup. Fight that he can definitely lose. You know what I mean? That is not a given fight. That's not a give me fight. You know what I mean? Then he'd have to face either Benavidez or Morel, and I'd say again, that's another 55-45 type of matchup in favor of Beterbiev. Another fight that he can most definitely lose. I mean, his chances are high, but not ideal. You know what I mean? But if we're talking Inoue, well, he already knocked him out, so that's 1 out of the 4 fights out of the way. And I think he will knock Picasso out as well as MJ. I think he's gonna obliterate MJ. That MJ fight is a dangerous fight though, but I think Inoue got it. I think he's gonna destroy MJ because him and Eddie Hearns have been talking mad shit about Inoue lately, and there's a history between Inoue and shit talkers. He destroys them quick. He makes it easy. So all this shit talking coming from Eddie Hearn and Murajan, I think this is gonna fire Inoue up, and I think it's gonna knock him out clean. But that ball fight is tough. Like I said earlier, I'd say that's a 60-40 type of matchup in favor of Inoue. Very close fight. 60-40 doesn't sound close, but it's close. It could go to Nick Ball. You know what I mean? I already think Inoue is already pushing his physical limits at 120-26. You know what I mean? So to fight someone so tough, so gritty, and so physically strong, that's a tough ask. But if he gets it done, fantastic. Awesome. Amazing. So for my pick, I gotta go with Inoue at 1 and Beterbiev at 2, just because I think the chances of everything aligning perfectly for Inoue is higher than it is for Beterbiev. You know what I mean? I think it's more likely that Inoue goes 4-0 this year than Beterbiev to beat Bivol and Benavidez or Morel. That's you know what I mean? But honestly, if both manage to get the job done, I would pick Beterbiev to win Fighter of the Year. If both of them manage to, you know, achieve this feat, I would go Beterbiev. Alright, so that's the video, guys. That's who I think will be the Fighter of the Year for 2025. Tell me who you guys think will win it in the comments down below. Who's gonna take over this year, guys? Please leave a like and subscribe. I would definitely appreciate that. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Thank you.